Highly frustrating 2021 real estate market. If you're looking for a home or renting a house or thinking about selling, you know this is a crazy market. It's one of the worst market I've seen in my years. It's very frustrating not only for me, but for the sellers, for the brokers, and everybody else. So why is this market very frustrating? First of all, we have to understand that there's a huge shortage of homes for everybody, not only for the rental market, but also for the selling market. So let's see why there's a shortage of homes, because that's the root cause of this frustration. There's a shortage of homes because, number one, at least in Orange County and in Southern California, there's a normal shortage of homes because there's no construction, no land. And it's very expensive to build homes, so the builders are not keeping up with the homes. So that's number one shortage. The second reason there's a shortage of homes is because of COVID. A lot of the sellers are not thinking about selling right now, so they're staying put. So there's shortage of homes for that. The other reason is some of the sellers are taking advantage of the high prices, so they're selling their rental homes or rental properties. So all these tenants have to move out. And some of those tenants or renters are into the housing market, which they would not have been. But since they are being moved out and the rates are low, they're also looking to buy. So that increases the buying pool. And the number one reason for the big demand in home prices or home buying and home selling is the low interest rates. My daughter just bought a house, 2.5% fixed for 30 years. I know a lot of people that buy homes at low rates. So if your mortgage payment was going to be $4,000, let's say for 4% interest rate, now that could be down to $3,500 or $3,200 with a 2.5% interest rate. So that creates demand. So now how is it frustrating? Well, I'll give you an example. I just sold a house and I told the sellers that the house is going to sell for $100,000 over the listing price. So we got 8 offers on the property in 2 days. It was listed for near $1 million and it sold for over $1.1 million, and everything was fine and dandy. So now take an example of that seller who wants to find another house. And I also sold another house, just to give you an idea of what's happening in the buyer side market. I sold a house that was listed for $720 and it ended up selling for $770. And I had written almost 5 or 6 offers with this client before we could get that property. So even though we're writing high priced offers, the buyers are not guaranteed that they'll get this property. I had an offer just today, got rejected, and I'll give you an example of why it is so frustrating, not only for me and the other agents, but also specifically for these buyers. So these buyers, and I'm just using random numbers, pretty close numbers, but to keep confidentiality, I'm going to give you approximate numbers. So this house was listed for 1.3, just came on the market, and we were the first ones to show this house on the same day that it hit the market for active listing. And the next day we wrote an offer. So I talked to these buyers and let them know that even though they're asking for 1.3, you are going to have to offer much higher price. In general, from my experience and talking to other agents, homes in Southern California and nationwide, they're selling anywhere from 5 to 10% higher than the list price, assuming it's listed at market price. So with these buyers, I sat down and said, look, this property is listed for $1.3 million. If you really want it, you're going to have to be very aggressive on your pricing. And when I say aggressive, here's the 3 or 4 things that's aggressive about it. First of all, we wrote an offer for $1.5 million, and then we ended up countering them. The sellers countered back, so we offered them 1.55. So we went from 1.3 to 1.5. So it's $200,000 over asking price. The second thing we did was we were going to remove all contingencies within 10 days, and we were going to remove the loan contingencies in 15 days. So we are pushing the lender to get this loan approved in 15 days. The other 3 things we did is we asked for no repairs at all. We said we'll do an inspection to make sure the property is sound and safe, but we will not ask for repairs. The other thing we did was we removed the appraisal contingencies. I told the sellers that they're asking for 1.3, you are offering them 1.5 to 1.55. It's probably going to appraise for 1.4 or 1.45. So on top of the 20-30% down that you're putting, you are going to have to add another $100,000 if it does not appraise, which it would not have appraised anyways, because the prices are escalating and the appraisers can only use sold properties for comps. So we removed the appraisal contingency. Now the third thing we did is because we know that when a seller sells a home, they need time to find a property. And they're worried also that they're not going to find the property, whether they're moving within Orange County or they're moving to Texas or Idaho or Montana or North Carolina or Arizona, where a lot of them are moving. Same market over there. So we as buyers also gave the seller an option to rent back for 30 days or 60 days, even up to 90 days. So we did all that in this offer. And guess what? We still did not get it. There were 8 offers on it, and somebody beat us out on the price for another $10,000, $15,000. So you can see this is a crazy market. We've never seen a market like this, where homes that are selling 10% over list price, there's no comps on it, and the buyers are paying the price because they're desperate. It's a really, what I call a ridiculous market, frustrating market. And from what we hear, talking to real estate experts, economists, going to a lot of Zoom webinars and trying to keep up with this market, we are hearing that this market is not going to slow down anytime soon. In fact, the prices are projected to go up 2 to 3% for the next 2 or 3 or 4 years. So fasten your seatbelts. The wild ride is not done yet. By the way, please subscribe, and I appreciate you taking a look at my channel and my videos.